Oi, oi, all right, how's it going? I'm Grant, you're you. This is the Doodle Review coming through with a new album to give a spin, chat some fraff about, and assign an arbitrary, completely arbitrary, pointless fucking score to. Today we're talking about Up on Gravity Hill, the latest from Ottawa punk noise post-hardcore band METZ. These days, as I prep a review, my research itinerary is becoming less and less Wikipedia and more Bandcamp because artists often drop their merch and music releases alongside a nice long label sanctioned press release. And these write ups, PR spun though they might be, tend to offer way more insight than the Wikipedia that internet dwellers just seem to have collectively given up updating for anyone, smaller than a head of state. So every now and again, it's Bandcamp, not Wikipedia, that comes through with a solid pull quote from the artists themselves. And it kind of helps me think about the review. For these guys, it was like they said, we've never heavy enough for metal or hardcore purists, but we're way too heavy for indie rock, and they don't have a lane. And so I found that quote from METZ frontman Alex Edkins in the Bandcamp write-up for Gravity Hill, and it really stuck out to me for a few reasons. On one level, so many of the artists I consider favorites embody the spirit of this quote in some way. Being trapped between worlds is often a sign of a true original. But on the other hand, this description of a band stylistically adrift also speaks to the friction I've sometimes felt as a fan of METZ, where my brain just doesn't know where to put them. And so, despite really enjoying most of their material, I find myself going back to them less than I would like outside of the immediate cycle of a new album release. What's interesting is that Up on Gravity Hill arguably muddies the stylistic waters of this band even more, yet somehow METZ emerge with a clearer, more succinct vision than they've ever captured on record before. Concrete has always been the word that comes to mind when being engulfed in the sound of METZ. Something about that particular type of reverb applied to those wiry single coil guitars riding wave upon wave of dirt slinging gritty bass just makes their records sound like they're being played inside of a tomb of cement, hardcore, and rebar. 2017 Strange Peace accomplished this alongside a propulsive and absolutely brain-bashing rhythmic power with tracks like The Relentless Mess of Wires announcing that right from the start. 2020's Atlas Vending has embedded itself in my memory as something that's like brooding, deep, and lumbering, but on reappraisal it's just as, if not more, throbbing than its predecessor. It has absolute bangers like Blind Youth Industrial Park, and even the longer ones like A Boat to Drown In are hypnotic in their repetitive, frantic energy. All of this just serving up another reminder that I'm clearly not listening to this band enough. So when I say Gravity Hill muddies the waters of the METZ sound, that's probably the wrong metaphor, because what they've actually added to this record is more of an airiness, turning their steel reinforced heavy concrete slab of a sound into a tough but deceptively lightweight breeze block. And by that, I'm talking about the xylophones in No Reservation Love Comes Crashing that set the moody monochromatic METZ guitars against a stereoscopic Technicolor backdrop, the smooth ooze against Manchester jangly guitars on Superior Mirage that offer a touch of My Bloody Valentine shoegaze texture as their backing vocals whip up into this sound of a melodic vacuum cleaner. Backing vocals and arpeggiated guitars even offer a bit of dream pop on Glass Eyes, and later the same effect is achieved with a slow motion acoustic guitar backed rhythm on the closer Light Your Way Home. So with all of those mature, elegant embellishments to the sound accounted for, we have to acknowledge the joyous moments of heaviness that are also present on this record as well. Gravity Hill might seem like the METZ concrete monster had been put on bed rest through maybe the start of the record, but when 99 hits its stride midway through with a downshift to a deep halftime beat, you can hear that sound is as robust as ever. Wound Tight hits us with a more conventional song structure and a catchy chorus, while Never Still Again has one of the most psychopathic riffs on the album in its opening. My only complaint is that just doesn't last longer. Earlier this year, the band announced a tour with Florida hardcore adjacent band Gouge Away, which makes perfect sense given that their 2024 release Deep Sage uses many of the same hues in its sonic color palette. But where Gouge Away failed to do much within the landscape it created to kind of keep me interested or keep things dynamic, METZ absolutely excel, and as a result have delivered one of the best hardcore, indie, I don't know, check quote. Whatever it is they've done, they've nailed it. I'm going to knock this on the head and give it an 8.5, I reckon. That's just what I think, though. What are you lot saying? Let me know in the comments. How do you feel about this latest one from METZ? Am I right? Am I wrong? Check out the description below for lots of related reviews. And if you can be asked to do all of that, you may as well subscribe, stick around, share some thoughts, show some love, or just have some abuse in the comments. And I'll see you in the next video. Right. If you're still here and if you like my content, you're someone that plans to watch more of it, has watched some of it in the past, then this message is for you. I'm basically looking to hear from you. I'm trying to think of ways to kind of take this outside of the channel. And for those people in the community, it's a very, very small community. I'll give you that. I want to do something special. So email me. It's doodlereview.club@gmail.com. Put the name of the video you've just watched in the heading, and I will send you something cool. I don't know what the next thing is going to be yet. I'm still working that out. But if you drop me a line, you're going to be first in line for whatever's bubbling up. Nice one, mate. All right. Take care. Speak soon. My name you go. Cheers. Bye.